Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining us. We were expecting quite a few more, but Saturday afternoons, maybe it's a little tricky sometimes, but a lot of people did say they would come. Anyway, let's see. So I'd like to welcome Trikalajna Prabhu. And I see Radha Saki was trying to join. Is she here? No, she was trying to join, but I don't think
she's trying and saying it's not connecting, so I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
Is there some reason or what?
No, it'll be her side. She was attempting to, I think maybe the internet is slow.
I'll tell her to try again.
Yeah, try again. So I'd like to welcome Trikalajna Prabhu, and also I'd like to welcome Bimal Krishna Prabhu, and I'd like to welcome everybody actually who's come on board today. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for supporting this incredible service that we are able to facilitate for everybody. And I wanted to hand over to Trikalajna Prabhu. Actually, without you and your wonderful group of devotees there, we wouldn't have this opportunity in the first place. So thank you so much.
So first I have to thank our Gives team that they are putting tremendous amount of effort in making this, especially the Gopis project. We have the Gopis project, we have the Pumps project, we have the Food project, we have adopting the Goshala project, then we have adopting historical places, and also we are planning to adopt schools and maybe in future build a university also. So that team is really putting a fair amount of effort. I would say tremendous amount of effort. And Radha Saki is saying she's stuck, she can't get through. So yes, she is like one of the primary persons on the
I got
this project.
Somehow the other. Am I the host? Yes, I've been made the co-host and
co-host. Yeah, and your screen is a little bit wrong way around. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, I'm just using a mobile. So I just admitted them. I just realized.
Yeah.
There are 4 individuals waiting.
That's right.
Is she on now?
Yes, she's on. She's still connecting to audio. She's on.
Okay, that's good. So, Nabhinandan Prabhu, you have the PPT. Are you going to present the PPT and we go through it, or should I just speak first?
What do you want to do?
If we can Let me just give you a brief outline, and then we go through PPT.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through PPT. As we go through PPT, I will request different team members to speak.
Good.
Who are focusing on specific parts of the projects. So for the Gopi side, we have a plan to go up to 250 by the end of this month, and then we'll stop at that. We'll not enroll anymore. Right now, we are in a process of enrolling. For the full year, we had 117. We had actually 120, but few opted out because of the internal problems, whatever the parents were not happy or different situations. So we had 117 who are full-time enrolled for the full year from last year. And then we have another 100 plus, possibly 130, that will take us to 250, which are being enrolled for the second half of the year. I will not speak too much about that because I want Radha Saki to speak about the steps and stages, how we do all that, and also the challenges that we face. Then going into the water pumps, we have done like the Ashtagopi Dhams. The final one in the Ashtagopi Dham is being completed this week. And we have done 2 other pumps. So we've done 10 water pumps so far. And we plan to put at least 5, if not 10, or ideally we should have 10 water pumps in each village so that it's convenient for everyone. But what we are doing right now is Bimal Krishna Prabhu and myself, we're going to go to Uchiga, which is a small town, a small village, where we're going to figure out how we can, instead of putting many pumps, we can set up a pipeline and a motor pump which can, serve the homes, or at least in the local areas, everyone can have a tap from where they can fill up the water. It's a little complicated, but it is something worth endeavoring in the long term. And at the same time, we are looking at the forestry. In some areas, there's lots of greenery, so that's not a problem. But in some areas, there is a challenge that there is not so much greenery. So we're planting like maybe 100 to 250 trees in the areas, wherever you put the water pump. So that way, the water level will always stay up. Yeah, over the years, otherwise the water level goes down, and then we have a challenge. Food for Life, food distribution is going on very nicely. We have adopted in the sense that we have connected ourselves with many ashrams, 10, 12 ashrams, which do prasadam distribution for free to the pilgrims, to the Brajbasis, to the local people who are living on the streets and don't have a place to go to eat. And at the same time, there is one group that we've linked up. They are distributing prasadam every evening to anything from 500 people plus. And they are on the Parikrama Marg, just opposite the Ek Jagannath temple in Vrindaban on Parikrama Marg. And they do very nicely. They do big chapatis, dal, rice, sometimes they make kheer, and it depends on the donor, who's the donor for the day. So like I had a donor from London yesterday, Rekaben, the funds you sent. And there's also a donor from London from the same money that you sent. There's two donors. So they'll be doing tomorrow also. I'll send you some short clippings of that also. It's done very, very nicely. So you can, distribute and let the members see that. It's very, very, impressive. And it's a realistic thing that they're doing every day. So anyone coming to Vrindaban, that's one of the things that you will get an opportunity to look into, and participate actually. Then adopting small gaushalas. We've adopted 4 so far, 1 in Radhakund, 1 in Barsana, and 2 in Vrindaban. The idea is to look up the small gaushalas that are owned by reasonably poor people who are really poor, and they're having difficulties. So the reason why you end up having so many cows on the streets is because either it's a bull and they don't have any use for that, so they'll let it go on the street right from birth, which is not so nice. And then the cows, when they stop giving milk, they put them on the street also because they can't afford to keep feeding them. So what we are locating is these small gaushalas where people end up putting them on the street because they just can't afford to keep them. We make terms and conditions with them that we'll supply chara for them for every month, and in return they will not put any cows on the streets, and that they will take care of them. Which actually they are very happy to, because like they're also attached to the cows,
Right.
But because they can't afford to feed them, then they let them go on the streets. So like our idea and goal is that like in this year we should adopt like at least 108 gaushalas like that, and we can have like individual families sponsoring them. Like say if there is 5 to 7 cows, it costs like 15,000 rupees a month, which is hardly anything for people in the West. But it is money, and it is money that keeps going, this 5 to 7 cows going. And then we will also help them medically. If some cow is very sick, I've connected up with 2 animal care groups here. So just like today outside my house, there was one small dog that was bitten. One puppy was bitten by a big dog, So we called the animal care people, and they came and they took care of the puppy also. So they'll take care of any animals, and especially the cows. Sometimes they actually die on the streets. So and we had that situation here. We had 2 bulls and 1 cow dying just outside our house, Somehow or another, Radha Govind is here and he attracts them. When this place was being constructed, 1 cow was coming and sitting in the house exactly on the spot where we put the altar every day until it was constructed. So interesting things are there also like that. So our goal is that if we can set a good example with 108 places like this, then we can approach the government and say, look, stop opening big gaushalas where we put 3,000, 5,000 cows, putting them into a ghetto, and then like they're not really well taken care of. We've seen that. We go and see that, and it's good that they are being taken care of in the sense that they get food to eat, but they are really cramped,
Right.
So we want to help providing that. Then we are also adopting historical places, which Bimal Prabhu will elaborate on a little later, and the importance and why we should be adopting historical places,
Yeah.
and how they can become our embassies also, And then the other project is that, like, we have Krishna Balaram Community School in Vrindaban, and there's another school in Barsana, which are run by devotee affiliated people, which also Bimal Prabhu will highlight us on. And it is important that we adopt these schools, because the children that we also adopt to go to school, we want them to be spiritually educated just as much as they are, educated in terms of modern technology or modern, sciences. And beyond that, we are also establishing a web page, which we have already got a domain, and Bimal Prabhu is working on that. And once we have that, then all of you will be able to, see month to month what's going on, and also we'll be highlighting things on week-to-week basis, anything interesting happening. Like we inaugurate water pumps literally every 2 weeks, so that will be coming up. And then if you adopt a school, something exciting is happening, we'll also be putting that up on this web page.
Yeah.
And most important of all is that we want to extend our, ourselves to live group, and support us through live, the donors through live, that when you come to Vrindavan, if we can communicate ahead of time, we'll be very happy to work out things so that, you will be well received, and you'll get the opportunity to see all these places and the activities we are doing. Normally people come to Vrindavan, they go to Radhakund, Shyamkund, they do Giriraj Parikrama and Vrindavan Parikrama, and they sit and they go away. But there's so much more to see, so much more to become personally involved in, and actually an opportunity to do service, as opposed to just coming and taking some benefits and going away from here. One time Ramesh Baba told me many years back that you guys are all thieves, and I said, wow, really, what do you mean by we are all thieves? He said, you come here, you do parikramas, you come and feed some people, give us money, and then you go away. But what you're doing is you're coming here to get spiritual benefits for yourself by doing that. He said, but if you really want to please Krishna, then you have to serve his devotees and his bhumi here. And he explained that, like, when you come here, you should do some physical service. You should do something personally to help the Brajavasis, to do some personal seva to the cows. Don't just drop some money and go and think I did my part, because when you actually get personally involved in doing these activities, it means it makes a big difference. It's very heart touching. It's just like when Radha Sakhi or Diksha or Madhu, these are the mothers who are actually communicating with the individual Gopikas. When they go and see them personally and meet them personally, it's very heart touching for them. It's also very, very important for the students to know that we actually are there as, adopted spiritual, institute, that we are here to help them nurture, grow, and, and come up in the society as some important personalities, That's why the Gopis project is extremely, extremely important. Just as much as water is important. We cannot survive without water, So maybe Prabhu, you can go through PPT and show some of the parts, and then as we come to like Gopis, I'll ask Radha Sakhi to elaborate, and Bimal Prabhu can also comment. Radha Sakhi, Bimal Prabhu, Anand Prabhu, wherever you feel comfortable, you can make your comments, and make sure you unmute yourself when you talk.
Somebody's hand is up. Kamendra Yadav's hand is up.
Yes, Kamendra. Maybe he's just exercising his hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go through it very quickly. So this is inspired by this great saints, and I would add Guru Maharaj to this, because
Sure.
his desire was from a very long time ago, maybe 30 odd years ago, when we were in Vrindaban, that these girls, they're on the streets playing, they should be in school. So I think we are.
Can I trouble you to make a short paragraph on that?
Oh,
and
yes,
send
sure.
it to us? Yeah.
I will do. So yes, the support is for those who are in need, and financially the families cannot afford to send the children, the girls, to the school. Mostly they're farmers or laborers who are poor. And we want to support them. And so far, as Trikal Prabhu very nicely said, about 250, is that correct? 250?
Yeah, we're aiming to go to 250 before the end of the month.
Wow.
We already have more than 250, but the 250 that are first verified and become eligible, they will be the ones who will be.
And I've sent you enough for 187, isn't that right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep you updated as we're doing. So
Yeah. So that's a huge thing. And then, of course, as Trikal Prabhu mentioned, the water wells, the provision of blankets and clothing, all things which add to the value that Give and Live are trying to give to these fantastic Brajbasis. Of course, Krishna looks after them anyway, but if we can help in that process in our little way, it is for our own good. And historical sites, this is where Bimal Krishna Prabhu is really got a passion, and he's just sent me a Tulsi Das's Bhajan Kutir to be renovated. So we'll see if we can get some support for that. And the Goshalas, which you mentioned very nicely. So this is the distribution of blankets to the students. So these students are needy. So these blankets are definitely going to the right place. And these are the gopis, some of them who have been sponsored to go to those schools. And this is a really fantastic opportunity for us. And then they are also fed time to time. How often does this take place?
Prashadam, every time we inaugurate water pumps, we do that. And then we also, at kind of random, we also do each village. The idea is, and that like we discussed, we should do every month in every village, at least once. And then we have those ashrams where we do once a month. So that's like, you could say, look, almost every day, one place, something is happening.
Going on, wow. And then the happy cows of...
These are the cows from Radhakund, the one that you recently adopted.
Oh, right, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just sent me this photographs a few days ago.
Okay.
And they really take good care of cows there. So anyone is coming, you're going to Radhakund, please put a diary that you will visit our adopted Goshala there.
And where is that exactly in Radhakund?
This is in a Gwalior temple. It is very close to Kusum Sarovar, just like 2 minutes walk from Kusum Sarovar.
Okay, thank you. Oh, so the work has begun on Tulsi Das.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So this is the
Maybe
new...
Vimal Prabhu can comment here what he's doing here. What is up to here?
Yeah. Well, this is the first project of such kind which has been taken on. This place is Goswami Tulsidas's Bhajan Kutir when he came to Vrindaban. There's a temple next. What you see on one of the photographs is the structure, is a Bhajan Kutir, but right next to it is the temple, Tulsidas Darshan Sthal temple, where Tulsidas became, and it's a very historical place, very well documented. And this is the place where Tulsidas, when he came to Vrindavan, when he every temple he went for darshan, he saw.
We've lost you.
He actually. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this place is where he pleaded the lordships to show him their Sitaram form. So the Radha Krishna deities turn into Sitaram deities. And so the temple is still there, and right next to the temple is his bhajan kutir, where he sat down and he used to do bhajan. So that actually became in a derelict situation. We don't have the photographs right now here on the PPT of the condition it was, and it was real. So what we done, there's two aspects. to the proposal. One is the flooring outside, which is about 2,500 square feet, and you can see from these photographs, paver blocks are being laid. And the next proposal is the structure, building structure itself, to repair, and especially the roof, which is cracked, and the railing on the roof needs to be replaced, and the overhang needs to be replaced. And so that's the next phase. So this is going on. This is expected to be finished with the next, I would say, about a month, within a month. And these are small projects. They're actually the UP state government. There are three major organizations which are renovating the historical places in the area of Braj. One is run by the UP state government. The two other are private. But when they do projects on a big scale, very big scale, but when it comes to small scales like this, up to around 4 or 5 lakh rupees, their budget's going to crores. So there are many places which require smaller attention like this. There are numerous of them. The government really don't have time. They don't give priority to them right now. So this is an opportunity for us to do service, to do seva of historical places in Braj, and bring them back to their old glory as it was. And this will increase the number of people coming and taking darshan, because hardly anyone was going to the structure before. And now when this is completed, there will be opportunity for people to come and take darshan of this. Inside is the deity of Tulsidas in that structure as well. So yeah, it's very, very, very important. So we're planning to find more such historical places and basically renovate them as much as we can.
Right. Fantastic.
Like Mirabai's place, even there's a place where Guru Nanak came and stayed in one place. So, different saintly personalities from different eras who came through. Even Akbar came and met with Haridas, So like, there are many interesting spots. And Bimal Krishna Prabhu and myself, we are planning to write a book on all these historical places, as well as a guide to Vrindaban, which will include this, different places.
The other thing is there are many big temples. I would say the famous temples, they're all held in trust, and some are held under the government trust. But these trusts like this is the private trusts, like this Tulsidas private trust, and they don't have fund to basically renovate their places. So, and they're always looking for organizations like this, Give and Live, and to basically help them out. I remember this, the main pujari's wife, she asked when I visited 2 years ago, she asked, I was with some devotees, she asked whether somebody can help. Like this, there's another temple of Narottam Das Thakur, whose bhajan Trikalajna Prabhu just rang earlier, and they also needed help. And few years ago when Indradimna Maharaj went, so the pujari asked him for help, and Maharaj helped build a new, basically gave a new Vyasasana for the deities. So like this, there are many such places we can help, and that will increase the importance. People will know, they'll come back onto the map of visiting pilgrims. Otherwise, pilgrims hardly visit these places. But they're such important places in terms of historical and religion. If they're not taken care of over the years, they will become totally derelict. Actually, the building will break down. If this is not repaired soon, then it'll be beyond repair, because roof is sinking in, this one.
Right.
And also these places will become embassies for us, that from where we'll be able to preach the important pastimes of, personalities like Narottam Das Thakur and other great, saints.
Okay. So you're going to have to build your team of preachers as well, huh?
Absolutely.
So I don't really have much to say on this point.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Let's go on to the next. Yeah.
Yeah. So the literacy rates are really poor. We know that.
Yes.
In Mathura, it's a bit higher. Presumably, in Vrindaban, rural areas, is pretty tough. And generally, the girls get married at such a young age, and their mothers before they're even 18. Life is finished. So this is where we can make a difference to their world.
Yeah, these two girls you see in the middle, they're our students in Vrindaban.
Okay.
The one in the middle, her parents are deaf and dumb.
Wow.
And the other one on the left, her parents, I believe, she has very poor parents and she is handicapped. And
Right.
you can see from the face it does. Is Radha Sakhi, are you on? Can you speak?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, can you speak about? Can you tell
Yes.
us a little more about the challenges these girls have, this and the other girls, and what your experience is as you go out on the field, please?
The major problem is the mindset. The mindset that women only belong at home. They are supposed to do household chores. Some people are they do have money in terms of supporting education of their children, but they prefer educating their boys rather than helping the girls out. So that's one huge problem that we are having. Coming to these students, the one on the left, her name is Supriya. Her parents are deaf and dumb. So they were financially impaired, like very badly impaired. So they requested the child's aunt to adopt her so that at least she can have a very good education. She is an extremely talented girl. She is very good in sports and singing. So the parents really wanted to help her out, but they were failing miserably. So this aunt approached us, and we have promised to help her out. And the one just next to her, her name is Rajanya. She had a miserable accident when she was a child that left her with permanent nervous damage, especially on the face. And her left side, she is completely deaf on the left side, and she cannot speak properly also. She has permanent speech impediment because of the nervous issues. So these two girls are basically struggling to go to school properly, get themselves going in terms of education also. So they have specially requested us to help. That day in our get together, they requested Trikalajna Prabhu to help them out in terms of giving them, like, helping them with a bicycle so that they can ride it and go to their school. Now coming to the schools in rural Vrindaban, like Barsana, Govardhan, they do not have any concept of using cashless transactions. They do not understand the concept of online transfer. Some of the schools we found out only take cash when it comes to fees from the students, and they do not have, the school does not have any bank account as such. So that's one big problem. And another problem is communication. Communication in terms of the academic counseling does not happen at all. So if the child passes out from, let's say, standard 10, he or she, whatever he or she selects is given to them or not given to them. Like, if they are very bad in maths and they want to take up maths, they are given maths. So basic guidance is not given. And most of the parents actually do not encourage their children to go beyond class 10. They would rather want them to do something else and earn much more than spending time in getting educated. So these are the basic problems that we are facing right now.
Yeah.
Can you also speak about how you verify the eligibility?
Oh, yes. So, of course, the steps are mentioned in the PowerPoint also. If you go a little bit further, you can check out the processes mentioned. So first, of course, being a small community, most of the students we get are through word of mouth from the school or from the friends of girls we are already sponsoring. Yeah, this is the one. See, we have camps also that we set up, especially headed by Anand Prabhu, Diksha, Mataji. So they set up camps and we register them, but mostly it happens through word of mouth or common friends. Then, of course, we interview the parents and students, and then we go to the schools to verify whether the child and their parents are actually eligible in terms of finances, because sometimes they have a propensity to cheat us in order to get the child's fees out of us. So definitely we check out not just the parents but also the students' credentials, and then of course we are meeting the schools, and then basically building up a rapport with the schools as well as the parents and the child. Then of course we have cross verification that we do towards the end. So the main criteria is basically checking out whether the child's family is financially impaired at all or not. Well, if they are financially sound, them to support their child. So yeah, this is the basic process as mentioned here.
Yeah, for example, in Barsana, we have like like what you may call simple people who are like detectives, and they go verify, they go check out how the family is living and what the standard of living is. So we get a feedback, and then also Anand personally goes on the field to check, them out randomly. So 1 out of every 3 is being checked out by Anand also. So this way we get to, we get to know that, we are on the track in the right direction, Bimal Prabhu, if you can comment on the importance of the Gopi's education.
Yeah, as Radha Sakhi mentioned, just to repeat, a large proportion of women in India still, especially in the rural areas, and specifically we find in area of Braj. The whole area of Braj has 1,500 villages, and most of them, the young girls are not given preference for to go to school or college. Maximum the grade 10, as Radha Sakhi mentioned, and some girls even don't reach that level. Actually, the government of India has put great emphasis, especially in the last 10 years, and before as well, on educating the girls. And we find many states have adopted this central government policy. And there's a slogan in Hindi is known as "Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao." That means to save a girl, you have to educate that girl. Because actually the modernism in India, whether it's villages or not, is catching up through information technology and communication. And obviously, India has the largest users of mobile phones in the world, and everyone has a mobile phone. So that communication is not such a great problem as it used to be, but education is still lacking. And we want to, one of the aims of this organization is to give opportunity to every underprivileged girl to become educated, and also have a choice of her own what she wants to do. There are many girls who wants to study. They have aspirations, they have skills, they have a great desire. Because of the circumstances, they're not allowed to and do that. And many girls have come and approached this organization, especially Trikalajna Prabhu, for help and support for their further education. And I just repeat what I said earlier. It is well known that a woman, a girl, can actually deliver 3 generations of 3 different families. When, especially if she gets educated, and this education, we don't purely emphasize on, material education. That's an important aspect to have to live in this world, be competitive. India is a great competitive place. Just to give an idea, when there are government jobs or any other job which comes in the paper, especially government job, just last week, in Ujjain, the government advertised a job for a chaprasi. Chaprasi is a peon. And you know how many applications came for that one job for peon? Went to over 100,000.
Wow.
And out of 100,000, there were many thousand, I think 10, 15,000 they were MBAs. They had master degrees. They were educated people. But hardly any girl, mostly were female. Most of them were female. Most of them male, hardly any female applicants were there. So what is happening in the rural areas, the girls are not encouraged to study because the mentality, as mentioned earlier, of the parents is she's going to get married and she will continue to do the household work, and her growth is actually stopped in terms of her aspirations and ambitions, and her ability and skills she has, that is not exploited. So what we want to do is give, especially those girls who are coming from a poorer background, an opportunity for them to grow, be self-sufficient, and also be part of the modern changing world which India is right now.
I like to comment that, like, we have two girls who are outstanding in the state. One girl was really outstanding in the state, so much so that the state government actually acknowledged her, graduation at high school level. And we've sponsored her now, and she's going to a university in Rajasthan. And then there is another girl who actually initially inspired the GIVE project, Mona, who was also outstanding in her school. She was number one in everything, including English, and she spoke really good English, and she speaks English. I mean, most students speak English, but like this young Gopi, she really endeavored very hard. So, and we're also sponsoring her, university education in Govardhan. So that's also there. We are having some exceptional students who will become, outstanding personalities in time to come, doing some very special, activities in their profession. And these are the people who will then, also be affiliated with us for a long time to come.
Okay. Good.
Is Anand, are you online? आप कुछ बोल सकते हो हिंदी में? आपकी पत्नी दीक्षा वगैरह क्या करते हो?
Actually, he's disconnected. He just messaged me.
Oh, okay. Not to worry.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the next. If he comes on, then we'll ask him to speak.
So, yes. So we have a board of trustees, board of directors, advisory board. There's a legal advisor in Mathura. We have a chartered accountant because we want to try to get the status whereby the charity can receive funds. And that's quite a process in India. And field workers, field officers, headed by a supervisor, PR communications. And the trustees is Trikalajna, myself, Jayanti, and Priyavrat from South Africa. Hopefully we'll add to that. Board of directors includes Yadav Jani, who's already supporting quite a bit, Praneshwar Kulapriya from US, Radhika Kapoor, Switzerland, Ramdas Shingadia, US.
Radhika is a student in Switzerland. She's doing a master's degree, and she's very talented. She's like a person who's coming out with new projects or new, what do you call it? She's like a research student. She comes out with amazing things,
Brilliant.
So I happen to speak to her, and then she's interested. So it'll be good to have a young student, because when I spoke to Yadav, he was saying we should have a few young and elderly ladies who are actively involved in the community.
Very true. And the board of advisors, Claire Ward, who you had a lot of dealings with during the Manna campaign. Naresh, same, you knew him during the Manna campaign. Jivanlal, I don't know, Reiki specialist, and Amritsar, Krishnadas Kampur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amritsar is Radha Sakhi's father. He's very experienced. He's a bank manager,
Oh.
and then he's managing restaurants and things like that. So he's moving to Vrindaban, so he will become more active.
And the blessings of the spiritual leaders is very, very important. Vinod Baba, Padmanabh Goswami, Balaram Baba, Rukmini Mataji, and Achyuta.
Yeah, and I think, like you mentioned, Guru Maharaj, I think right at the beginning, we should have a
Yeah.
paragraph saying that
Yeah.
we are dedicating these new projects to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the quote.
Hare,
Yes,
Hare
sir.
Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, Anand Prabhu is back online.
आनंद
Trikalajna
प्रभु,
Prabhu.
अगर आपको सुनाई जाता है तो आप थोड़ा हिंदी में बताओ कि आप क्या करते हो, पानी के बारे, स्कूल के बारे, बच्चों को कैसे रिक्रूट करते हो, और वो भी बताइए कि दीक्षा जी क्या करते हैं, स्कूल में जाकर कैसे कैसे बच्चों से बात करती है। अगर उसको भी बोलना है तो वो भी बोल सकती है। आनंद प्रभु बोलिए, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ।
आनंद प्रभु, जो म्यूट बटन है उसको अनम्यूट करिए, कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है। Okay, there's probably some internet problem there.
Internet
Just
problem.
carry on.
Or admin may be able to unmute him.
Bimal, can you unmute him?
I will have a look.
Radha Sakhi, is Yogesh online?
Yes,
No,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu, he is here. Yeah, he's here.
Okay, very good. Okay, is Anand unmuted? Anand, आप बोल रहे हो क्या, कुछ बोल पा रहे हो?
He's saying that he is unmuting, but the host has to help him get unmuted or something.
No, he can unmute himself anytime. Let me have a look. Where is he?
Nabiji, there may be a button says unmute all or unmute individual, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find him first.
Okay.
What is this? Is this star?
Actually, you can also ask him to unmute. Bimal Krishna.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Not to worry. Anyway,
Yeah.
this
Okay. Let us ask Yogesh Prabhu to speak.
Oh,
You know
yes.
that acknowledgement by the Brahman Samaj. Can you bring the photographs to that, and then Yogesh Prabhu can speak about that.
Okay, yeah. Is that here?
Yeah, it's the one before that, one before this also, and one before this. Yeah, this one. Start from here. Yeah, no, yeah, the one. Go one down.
One more down?
No,
This one.
where you are standing, this one, yeah, stop here. Yogesh Prabhu, आप बताइए ये लोग कौन है, सब क्या है, क्या
Hare
लीला
Krishna
चल
to
रही है?
everyone. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. There is one Brahman Sabha from Vrindaban. He is a leader of that Brahman Sabha. There's 4 of the head, they're in charge. So I really I brought them to Trikalajna Prabhu house, and they do Abhinandan of gift and life. They really they are very happy that whatever give is doing in Vrindavan and all over in Brajmandal, and they really want to invite gift team in their program whenever they will arrange in Vrindavan, and they really want to happy with the gift and really interested to meet all of you people again. So this is the first time visit and feeling so happy, we all. and
Very
I
good.
want in the future to bring local people more in GIP.
Well,
Okay.
it's very
Okay.
important. What Yogesh Prabhu did here is bringing the prominent Brahman Samaj leaders, and when they acknowledge that GIP is doing something significantly important, then the Braj Basis in the Braj, not just in Vrindaban, but all of Braj, will actually acknowledge our activities and services, and they'll appreciate what we're doing. And they won't think that we are trying to do something undercover. But because the Brahmanas, and the person who's second from right, he is known as the Bhisma Pita of Brahman Samaj.
Yeah.
Whatever he says, the entire Brahman Samaj will do.
Mhm.
The Braj Brahmanas, they respect him so highly.
And
So this is
he's
a
my
very
father.
positive and important step that Yogesh Prabhu thought of. It was something that he came up with, and then it is something that's going to help us a long way in time to come. And they will also, through this Brahman Samaj, Yogesh Prabhu is working to bring the Goswamis over also. So the Goswamis, community, there is the Goswamis community, there's the Brahman community, there's the Panda community, and then there are some other subsidiaries also. But these three are very important. So Yogesh Prabhu is working on our PR forefront, especially locally, to have all these people acknowledge what we are doing, which will help us a lot in time to come also. योगेश प्रभु, आप थोड़ा फूड फॉर लाइफ के बारे में बताइए, आप क्या करते हैं? फूड जैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड आपने एकादशी पर फल बांटा था, फिर आपकी जो स्कूल में भी आप जो कभी कभी वो करते हैं आश्रम में, जो हम लोग फंडिंग करते हैं, थोड़ा बता दीजिए।
जी, whatever according to sponsorship, like somebody want to sponsor, this is the photos. Yesterday somebody from USA, he just sponsored the bid fees for 108 that women. So we gave them some invitation coupon, and they came yesterday for having lunch around 1 o'clock. And some name is sponsor Mansukh Bhai, he's from USA. They are the disciple of the Ved Vyas Maharaj, and they came, and they serve the prasadam to Matajis, and they gave 100 rupees cash dakshina to every ladies. And they are doing sponsoring every year on New Year since around 18 20 years. They are coming continuously. Last year they were not here due to COVID, but this time they again starting. And also the last on the Ekadashi we did not last the second last Ekadashi we did a food distribution, fruits on the parikrama. There's so many parikramas. There are many lakh people doing parikrama that day. So the gave that fruits, apple and banana. Around 100 kgs of apple and 100 kg of banana has been distributed on that day.
Okay.
So, and I want to say thank you live for helping the Brajvasis.
We like
so
to
he's
thank
just kind of outline one event. He's like active literally every day. Sometimes we'll get somebody saying they just want to donate for 500 samosas, and I just give Yogesh Prabhu a call and say, listen, we need 500 samosas on the street by this evening, and send 2 people out to distribute, and he'll get it done, So this is nice. And then sometimes, like these are ladies, he also is connected to many other groups, like the blind people, the blind society. So sometimes people want to feed the blind people. Then I give him a call, and he will just, invite all the blind community, and they will bring the blind people in the bus or in the, transportation, and then they are set up nicely, and then such nice prasad is, served to them like that.
Yeah.
And then on other than Ekadasi days, also other days, like even Anand Prabhu distributes prasadam in Barsana area, and we distribute prasadam on the streets here. So a lot of food for life activities are going on. Thank you, Yogesh Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. And just a quick Radha Sakhi, thank you so much for wonderful service for the gopis. Diksha Yadav Barsana.
Diksha Yadav is Anand Prabhu's wife.
Ah, okay.
She is the field monitor. She goes to schools and she goes to each school. She gets to know the principal, and then they call out the gopis that we have sponsored, and then they go in one room and she talks to them and asks them if they have any specific challenges, other than what they're doing normally. So
Oh.
sometimes if there are challenges, then she deals with them also. She will call Radha Sakhi, because Radha Sakhi is overall in charge for these activities, and then they will discuss. And if need be, then they will come and talk to Bimal and myself.
And they go unannounced, yeah?
Yeah, unannounced.
So it's like a check on
It's
the
a check,
school.
because that way we also find out if the girls are coming or not.
Yeah, on the
Like
school
we
and the
yeah,
girls as well. Yeah.
to the schools, actual schools, yeah.
Good. Yeah, fantastic. And database is Madhu. She's keeping a good.
But she's doing database for Barsana, and the main database person overall in charge is Radha Sakhi.
Yeah.
So
Good.
whatever work is going on in Barsana, Madhu puts it on the computer, and then she sends a file to Radha Sakhi, because Radha Sakhi is she's not meant to, but she's doing all of the Braj, Govardhan, Barsana, Vrindaban, the local areas in Vrindaban. So all these areas, whatever, and the new students that we are getting, she's also, entering them, and she monitors, she looks through every student, makes sure that the students are going to school. And when it comes time for the payment for the fees, she also arranges, she makes the folios so that, like, before we give it to the accountant, she says how many students are listed in which school and how much is the fees in total, individually also. And then that goes to the accountant, then accountant verifies it, and then we sign the check, and it is transferred from our bank to their bank, or sometimes we have to go and give the check to the school and pick up a receipt.
Yeah. And Ashish here, he mentioned in the live meeting that he can help with the database. So he'll touch base with you directly. Huh?
Sure.
All right. Oh, sorry. Let me just have a look there. Ananda Yadav, Shivam, Field Manager Dauji, and then you got security, cleaners, and peons. Very good. Obstacles we've sort of talked about.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we have the water wells. I think you've already given us a good outline. And how many have you done so far now?
10.
Okay.
10. Yeah.
Okay, 10 is done. Huh? So, okay.
We have room to do a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more. Yeah.
Okay. And this is really powerful.
Every time we, inaugurate a well, we make sure the local Pradhan or his representative is there. And wherever this, like local Babajis, maybe somebody from Vinod Baba's ashram will come, or Ramesh Baba's ashram will come, or if there's a local priest, because like each of the village in Astasaki Dham, they have temples, so the temple priests are also invited.
Yeah, and we every time you open a water well, you would feed.
Yeah, we will feed them on the same day, or maybe sometimes on the weekend, depending on what the situation is. Right now, COVID is also, it may be a little difficult for the next few weeks until everything settles down, because COVID has hit Braj also pretty hard at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, so I wanted to actually open it up for questions. If anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to support, you know where to come. So we don't need to worry about this page. But if there's any questions that anybody has, is happy for you to ask. I'd like to especially mention this fellow here, Push Prash. He's been very helpful to us. And hopefully we will continue this journey together. Ah, there he is. Thank you so much, Prash. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, you're muted.
Can you introduce him to us?
He's a motivational speaker. He introduced me to something which is helping us fund a lot of this, what we're doing. And he's really given us some platform where we can work with. So really, really grateful to him for that opportunity. And we have many others who have supported, like Gamshambai supported greatly. And there's another soul here who doesn't want to be named in any format, but he's actually, he gives us the inspiration, he gives us the stability, the foundation to try to help in some way. So
Wow.
who that person is, I can't reveal, but my heart really goes to that person.
Well, we'll send you some special prasadam from Barsana and Vrindaban for him.
Yes,
And
please.
then maybe,
That'd be good. That'd be good.
and it'll be nice if you, Bimal, myself, and Pras can have a discussion sometime. If he's a motivational speaker, it might be
Yes.
something of interest to all of us, because Bimal does a lot of presentations. I've done motivational speeches at like Bharat Petroleum and Hindustan Petroleum, Jindal Pipes, and places like that. It'll be good to get some feedback, advice, and maybe guidelines from Prash also.
Very good. Any questions? Anything that you thinking, hey, this can be done better? Or, of course, we're not in a position really to.
I did want to offer one contribution, if I
There's
may.
a Puja has raised hand.
Sorry, Prash, what did you say?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I did want to make one contribution, if I may, and pranams to all the Vaishnavas here, including my good old friend Bimal Krishna from the Manor. And we go back to 1987.
Wow.
But
Hey, Prash.
Hey, Bimal.
You recognize him now, Bimal Krishna.
Yeah.
Bimal, how you doing, you old rascal? You still have your Punjabi looks and.
How are you? Long time no see. And Nitesh is also there.
Nitesh is there, another legend from the old Manor days. So he's a very nice sevak here as well.
Wonderful.
Bimal, I'm sure we'll speak, but I had one practical.
Yeah.
I think Trikalajna Prabhu, you mentioned about the cases being high at the moment. COVID's obviously a little crazy. A lot of my friends there in Mayapur, Nabi, obviously Mahaprabhu, my digital assistant, and a lot of the Vaishnavas are down. One of the best things that's helping to cure is ivermectin. So I just wanted to offer that in case people were not taking advantage, that ivermectin works. Although in the UK and in America and in Canada and most Western countries, ivermectin is being disregarded or suppressed, it completely works. I order ivermectin from India, from Mumbai, and I've lost count of how many devotees and non-devotees and family members I've given ivermectin to here and hydroxychloroquine, and their COVID
If Prash can speak in the speaker, it's not coming through.
Yeah, is that a lot clearer now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's better.
Sure. I was just saying that ivermectin is being disregarded here in the West or suppressed, but I order it from India, and I've lost count of how many devotees and friends here in the UK ivermectin has helped, and hydroxychloroquine with overcoming COVID a lot quicker and a lot more safer. So I wanted to offer that as an idea to the team here to really ensure that the villages and those who need it, the devotees, everybody has access to ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, because A, it's very, very cheap, and B, it's readily available, and C, it has very few contraindications with any medications or existing drugs or products. So it's a very relatively safe thing to do. For many people who are not vaccinated, like myself, unjabbed, I'm vax-free, and I choose to be that way, and many devotees who are, it's been equally beneficial. And if I can be of any support in providing dosages and ideas, I'm more than happy to do so.
Hey, thank you for that. Nani Ben.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, for this huge update and lots of things that you are doing that makes us proud to be associated with live and indirectly to give. But my concern is about all these financial implications that you all are doing. I think, is it all based on donations, or do you get any help from the government? Or because the work that you are doing looks financially quite exhausting to me.
It is indeed. We did a financial presentation this morning, and we collected 123,000 pounds for the Vrindaban project, and we spent 129,000, partly financed by also the gift aid. So this is in 2021. So we've received generous support from many of like yourself, many we've received great support from many people, including yourself, Naniben. So we did raise £123,000, and we spent 129,000. That's on the gopis, the water wells, the blankets, the food for life, the Goshala, the Gomata, Gocharan. So, and by the Lord of, by Radharani's Kripa, I'm hoping that that will increase only in the next, in this year, that we will, again, through the generous support of everyone, continue to support the Brijabas. Well, of course, who are we to support the Brijbasis? They support us. But if we can somehow render a little tiny service to them, it will be for our own benefit. So I'm hoping next year. Yes, sorry.
Is it only live involved in this charity work, or is this sort of, or you get something from give as well, people from India as well?
There is some, Trikal Prabhu, you want to mention, live is probably about 90% of the support?
Yeah, at the moment it's highly live. We have the other family that has started getting involved, so he's helping us to approach corporates. Keep in mind, we started in May.
Yeah.
So we are still a new baby coming up. With all these activities that Live has helped us with, and activities that the team members here have been working very, very intensively, and with the website coming up, then we can go full out on the net to net media. So there's so many net medias where we can raise funds. You had some small individuals also sending donations, like the Rekha family that keeps sending money through you,
Yeah, that's
like
correct.
that. And then there are some people from Europe who send small amounts of money for Gochara or for one student here and there, like that,
Yeah.
But it is small at the moment. It's going to grow for sure. There's no doubt about that. Bimal has something to comment.
Reason I'm asking is that we could have, there's a possibility of sending some funds, because we've got some account in India. So I don't know how that would work, but I think we can ask Nabi Prabhuji here how we can look into that.
That's possible, Naniben.
That's possible, yeah. Okay. And the second question to Trikalajna Prabhuji, we had got 2 cows, who have given us 2 cows, and we have got the name of the mother and the calf of one, which is mine, but my sister is asking the name and of the mother and the calf of her cow.
So those were the first 2 cows that were donated.
First 2 cows, yeah.
Yes.
I think I sent, anyway, I can resend, it's not a problem.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and if Mataji wants to see them, then sometime when I
Yes,
go, I
please.
can do a video call,
Yes.
three-way video call. So you,
Yes.
Mataji, and I can be.
Yes,
That'll be nice.
yeah.
They're in
Last thing,
Vrindaban. They actually,
is
Mataji, thank you for that. They're beautiful giri cows. And the family that has received them are very, very happy. And in fact, the first products of the cows, the milk that they came, they distributed it to the sadhus of Vrindaban before they started using it themselves.
wow, lovely. And last is our intention to visit Vrindaban when the times improve.
Yeah.
And then we would be contacting you, Prabhuji, there.
Sure. Come on a one-way ticket. We'll keep you happy here.
Yes, we want to do that. We would like to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mata.
Thank you. Thank you, Naniben. Yeah, Bimal Krishna, you had something you'd like to share?
Yeah, just 2 small points. One, which Prashant raised about ivermectin. Yeah, I mean, ivermectin is being prescribed by the doctors in India right now.
You're not coming through.
No, we can hear him.
I can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Little better now.
Okay. I was just saying the ivermectin, the medicine Prashant Prabhu mentioned, it works and it has been prescribed by the doctors in India. So yeah, it's great, but that leads to another point that in the future, there's a possibility of getting medicines and distributing free medicines to the needy people. That's another area which we're looking at, and this is where Prashant can really help. The other point raised by Mataji about government help, what is being done right now is too small a scale for the government to basically help out. When they when the activities grow, then it'll be much easier to get government help.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Really good. Anybody else? Anything else?
Now we just had, I mean, not question anyways, it's more how we can actually help out. So at the moment we have this WhatsApp group where obviously I communicate with you, and then where there are initiatives. I think Trikal Prabhuji mentioned that there's going to be a website with all of the initiatives that's going to be listed. So, I mean, yeah, I want to be more involved. And if there is a better way in terms of kind of getting involved, obviously not physically because we're based here, but yeah, if there's, once the website's ready, or if it's best to go through you, that'll be okay as well. But yeah, any way that I can get involved would be good.
Thank you. Website, what we're doing, we're having a meeting with this marketing company on Monday at 8:30 in the morning. So if you're free, I'm happy to send you the link. Join us, and they will guide us through how to improve our, our outreach. So,
yeah, sure.
Trikal, were you joining us for that meeting, right? Monday.
Yeah, Monday morning, right? Yeah.
Monday morning for us. For you, it's probably about lunchtime.
Yeah. Just remind me, send me a link again.
I will do, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anything else? I'd like to thank you, Trikal Prabhu. Great update.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity, and I want to thank you and your team for giving this, huge button press support.
Yes,
that's keeping us on our toes. And well and truly, it's just amazing how the activities and services have rocketed here, and it's really doing great service to the Brajvasis and to the cows also.
Yeah, I'd like to thank, Bimo Krishna, Radha Saki, everybody there. Without you, we wouldn't be doing any of this. Yeah. But without the sponsors on this side, definitely we wouldn't be able to do anything at all. So I really pay my humble obeisances to you, eternally grateful to you. And
it's teamwork. We have live and give logo like this everywhere we go. That this is hand in hand, work hand in hand,
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hare
Krishna. Thank you for attending and sparing your Saturday. Really good.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.